Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another tutorial. This one we're going to be focusing on Galaxy Wanted, since there is a big rise in issues related to the layers. So this is going to be a long one and a lot of details. Grab some popcorn, sit on a chair, and let's get started. Now, as you look at Galaxy Wanted, you probably have figured out it has a ranking system of how many layers or stages you have passed. As you see on our current server, Juno is at layer 807. There is rewards in passing different layers. Depending on each player passing it, the entire other players get 50 diamonds or 100 or 200 or 150, right? So that's the first thing of the progress of Galaxy Wanted for the overall players. At the same time, you can see their different lineups or what heroes and X-War stage they are on and the Union. At the same time, you're on your own pretty much. Now, in terms of the sweep list, Galaxy Wanted goes until level 950. As you can see, that's the end of Galaxy Wanted, and pretty much it's annoying to advance in it. Now, each 50 layers you'll get these lovely rewards until 950. Right? Now let's look at the advice. If you go to the advice, you'll see 3 lovely lineups of recommendation heroes: Team Powerful Disabler, Team Tank Nurse and Disabler, Team Savage Carry. Team Savage Carry super draft with the toppest carry disabler and damage mitigating. Now, these heroes you should use as a reference, because pretty much every single player uses almost all of them or a number and mixture of them, and adding other heroes along the side, right? Next point. When you're stuck in a Galaxy Wanted layer, you can click on this video icon and look at the recent clearance. Sometimes you'll find it, other times you might not, depending on your server. Now, in the recent clearance, you also have the availability of clicking on again the video icon and watching the battle happen in front of your eyes. As we can see, we have Tuku, Thinker, General of Rescue, Einstein, Lady Ivy, Silas in this specific lineup, and Tuku took out the first. Gunnable has been tangled. Ana has attacked and caused an immense amount of damage. The team recovered part of their HP. Tuku's taking out the second and third, and then moving on to Ana, which is the biggest problem here in this layer, right? And now another enemy has been tangled, and then another because Lady Ivy has died, has been killed. That's exactly what you need to take them out. It's called crowd control. We'll go over the different heroes players use. This is just to showcase how the battle actually goes. And we'll look at a different battle. And by the way, you can also see that he used the Dimension Hunter, he or she. And this is the lineup, pretty much, you can see it. Now, one other thing you can gain from looking at this, for starters, the legendary talents. Einstein is equipped with the legendary talent that casts shields. Blaze or Rockefeller isn't equipped with it. Thinker at the same time. Battlefield Angel is equipped with it. Right? So, knowing partially what talents or legendary talents were used can be viewed by actually watching the fight, because it will play around and you will be able to watch it. Right, moving along. You of course have the skip icon to click on battle and just skip if you pass it. Now, the next point we need to talk about is the heroes. You already saw the different heroes recommended, which there is a good reason for it. Now, in Galaxy Wanted, one of the biggest issues you always face, I get killed easily, and pretty much I have no chance of killing the entire lineup, the 6 heroes or enemies, right? That's always the issue most of us face. Now let's look at what exactly are the heroes that have crowd control. First, you have Lady Ivy, and if you go into the guide, you'll see the overview, aerial damage and control. Right? Crowd control is pretty much the ability to control the enemy, either stopping him from attacking, paralyzing him, or petrification or stunning, so the enemy cannot attack, or decreasing his attack or armor, depends. So Lady Ivy is essential in Galaxy Wanted, as the twining ability she has pretty much stops the enemy almost for 2 rounds from being able to attack. Let's look more at the core skills. Aside from the enhancing the attack, we're looking at the twining. It has a 35% chance of twining enemy for 2 rounds. During twining, the enemy cannot attack and can be attacked and just take the damage without participating, right? And this Divine Seed decreases the armor of the enemy. So for crowd control, Lady Ivy is fantastic. At the same time, other people use Medusa. Again, aerial damage control. Medusa has petrification. Petrification, as if you know Medusa in general, away from the game, it's turning the enemy into stone, where he is also unable to attack for 2 rounds. During those 2 rounds, you pretty much will use your heroes to attack again and again, killing them, especially Tuku or General of Rescue. Depends on which lineup you're gonna use, but it comes handy in the first lineup is unable to attack, or different heroes in the back row, right? Next, Behemoth. Behemoth is control and aerial damage. Now, there is a disagreement on exactly what in God's name does he do. He mitigates the damage and defense of the enemy for 3 rounds. It's not really disarms the enemy can still attack, but it's more of a damage immune defense increase, you can call it that. Behemoth's basic attack restores 5% maximum life. He has the ability to regenerate HP to himself. If you use Behemoth before he puts chains on the enemy, pretty much just slows the enemy a little bit and decreases their attack. Not really crowd control if you compare it to Lady Ivy, where they cannot attack at all, but he's still good. Now let's look at Thinker. Thinker, of course, is a tank. He's a buffer and a tank, right? So Thinker has the ability to generate shields, pretty much the shields that you see and have seen in the fight itself. He can also take and share the damage done to one ally. What's the advantage of the shield? It increases the armor, right? And adds HP, pretty much. It's healing, pretty much, up to a degree. So, when facing an enemy with heavy damage, he comes in handy, 100%. Also, if you look at his special equipment or exclusive equipment, when you get to level 30, the duration of health shield becomes infinite and adds an additional 20% of critical resistance. He's very, very fantastic of restoring HP, adding shields, damage immunity, pretty much, and critical resistance. The special attack of the enemy, the ability to gain HP back, all of that good stuff. We can go on and on about different heroes, but there's a reason why crowd control is important when facing Galaxy Wanted. Now, if we look at Selos, which you'll find he's the assassin sustained damage, pretty much the damage he can do is sustained where the enemy cannot recover its HP. Yeah, there's a difficulty in recovering HP. That's pretty much it. High damage like a sniper, and the enemy has difficulty recovering full HP. In the same list falls the lovely Godslayer Folklore Assassin Burst Damage. Same direction of what he can do, but he's much more than Silas. Increasing his attack, recovering HP, increasing his speed, attacking the entire 6 enemies instead of 1. So, next thing we'll look at is buffers. Heal and buffer. Right? So we have Cupin and we have the lovely Cyber Ronin. Right? But Cyber Ronin is debuffer. So there is buffer and debuffer. What's the difference? We'll look into that and explain it. First we have Cyber Ronin as a debuffer and a sustaining damage. Right? What does that actually mean? The damage received, pretty much there's always a direction of using him with Tuku. He increases the damage output of the attack. Right? So that's the first thing. And he restores 100% equivalent HP of ally with the lowest life. So he recovers HP also. He gives all allies 10% damage reduction. So we have damage reduction, we have HP recovery, and we have increased damage to the enemy. Right? He marks the target actually with 2 marks. So we can see how he operates. What about the buffer, not the debuffer? Armor is increased, restoring effect, HP restore, basic attack of the enemy is reduced by 8%. So pretty much buffer or debuffer doesn't really matter. The hero matters more of increasing damage immunity, increasing damage output, decreasing or reducing damage received, right? Now, we've had a look at different heroes and you saw the full list in Galaxy Wanted. We have a little bit of understanding. And we're just going to add one last hero which is important. This is Tank Control, Gonable. He is special in how he attacks. When he's attacked, he actually recovers HP every single time. And he can increase the attack of himself and he counters attack. So he's attacked, he does the counter attack like Rockefeller. So he is good, especially in using the chain hook to inflict damage and at the same time stun the enemy. So we're looking at a stun hero, just like Rockefeller. Stunned enemies cannot attack until the stun has been removed, right? So he's a good direction of using him in general, even away from Galaxy Wanted, but he needs to be much stronger. Now we've looked at different heroes, we understand a little bit more about crowd control, buffer, debuffer, HP recovery, damage immunity. Damage immunity is pretty much a reduction in the damage you will get when attacked. That's damage immunity. There is no I will never get any damage, by the way. Now let's look at a lovely fight against Layer 710. You'll find that the overall power is pretty much close, which it will not be simple to actually pass it. It's not gonna happen. As we can see, Lady Ivy entangled Gonable and now he's unable to attack. He's not moving, as you can see, he's not attacking, he's not doing anything. The rest of the heroes are the only ones sustained. Lady Ivy died and Rockefeller, Gonable and Thinker have been tangled. They're currently unable to attack, respond or do anything except being attacked. This is crowd control and why Lady Ivy is unique in doing that. This is called twining, by the way, those green vines around the enemy. Of course I'm gonna lose. Typical. Now, why did I lose? Okay, for starters, even if both overall power is very close, it does not mean you're going to win. A number of factors plays in the overall power, right? One of them, even with the draft of 5, HP plus 20%, attack plus 20%. Awakening, Lady Ivy isn't awakened to Immortal, so that's a loss in power, right? Thinker isn't awakened to Immortal, and the same applies for Queen of Desert. But Queen of Desert isn't really important that she's awakened beyond Mystic Plus. The rest are important. So that's the first point, awakening, right? They're not fully awakened. Second point is individual hero overall power and talents. As you can see, the more you awaken the hero, let me show you in the portrait. The more the portrait is upgraded, the HP and attack is also upgraded. You can see the 350 level HP, attack and armor, and of course the exclusive equipment. Upgrading it is essential. It adds more power, especially for the shields or the crowd control ability of Twining. So a lack of awakening is a sufficient point of losing. It's not just the lineup, by the way. It's the lineup, the heroes, the skills, the awakening, the upgrading of the exclusive equipment, the damage immunity, the armor upgrades to T1 and T2, and of course the artifacts, which we will go at it, of course. Also the relics, since now they have been added and available for all players, play a huge difference in the hero's overall power. 9 relics is different than 3 relics. So just because you added the same lineup, just like I did, doesn't mean you're gonna win. This lineup and this lineup, if I just randomly added the same lineup and there is a difference in overall power, and I will show it, it still isn't sufficient. Awakening, the upgraded level 368, the heroes, the position, the talents, the artifacts added, it is not the same at all. So let's add the same hero. We're looking at Lady Ivy, Silas, and Tuku. Let's add Silas. That should be it. I probably need to arrange that lineup again, but that's fine. As you can see, the armor has been increased, Twining has been activated, now we're attacking. Okay. Twining has been added to 3 enemies, which is good, but I'm not still powerful enough to take them out during their Twining duration, which is 2 rounds. I pretty much get killed before doing that. That's about the overall power, the HP and the attack ability, right? Even if I arranged it accurately, right? It's supposed to be like this, as you can see. Silas is in the middle, right? And then Tuku, and then let's use the group attack dimension. Somehow we're above 20, but that's okay. Now let's see if it actually works, which I believe it will not, but we can see, we can try. This is the stun ability. You can currently see it in action related to General of Rescue. He's unable to attack and he got killed, which is typical. Now you just saw what happened in terms of my lineup, my team, and I'm level 363, right? There's almost 2,222,000 difference, 2 million overall power. Now watch this player of how different it is. By the way, that red flashing thing is called Striker. It's Stigmata. Now as you can see, the complete different of what happened, completely different. From this we can conclude it's not just the lineup, it's the heroes, the awakening, the upgraded level. 363 is not 368, and same hero does not mean same equal power and same equal awakening. Now let's go into artifacts. The next important point.
Not worth mentioning.
When you want to go to artifacts, you can just click on equipment for the artifact, click on change. There's a number of artifacts available in the game under category Guardian Gem, Divine Will, Prelude of Evil. Prelude of Evil is pretty much evil artifacts, and they're difficult to gain and pretty much expensive, and you have to pay money, but you might get lucky one day and actually draw them from the, what was the name of that chest? Supreme Chest. Yes, the Supreme Chest. Now, the Guardian Gem artifacts, you can gain them from going to Lost Land. Go to space, Lost Land. It's time for another refresh. Sure. Okay. If you look at the rewards of passing each stage, pass Novice 10, you get the Primal Power, then Fictional Reality, Brave Heart, and you carry on until you get to Insane and Original Time. These are the gem artifacts, and they are available in Lost Land by passing the different stages. Next in artifacts is the Divine Will, and we'll go a little bit in detail of what difference does the artifact make. Now, Divine Will, the ability to gain them, it can be gotten from the Supreme Chest. It can be gotten from events. The Supreme Chest is Quantum Invasion, and you getting the Supreme Chest from there either by participating and gaining the points you need or buying the chest itself for 2,500 diamonds. As you can see, I've collected a number of them, and there will be another video talking about how to actually gain divine artifacts. I have the Ring of Oracle, Blessings of Prophet, Fatal Judgment, Templar Glory, and hoping to get the Radiance Tribune, Divine Prayer, Wings of Angel. Prelude of Evil 0. Now, let's look at what exactly does a divine artifact do. Eden Space specially. After landing a critical hit, basic attack damage increased by 20% for 2 rounds. So the more Tuku lands a critical hit, the damage is increased. That's why Tuku is matched with Eden Space and Fatal Judgment in using. At the same time, it's better to actually equip the Dark Artifact Sith of Hunt. 60% chance to increase to 50% of its damage, which is much better even than Eden Space. Another artifact you'll find increases the attack and critical, right? This is the Eternal Soul. Primal Power increases the attack by 4% of each round, and then 5%, and when there's less than 4 enemies, attack increase by 20. Next, Blessings of Prophet. Blessings of Prophet pretty much gives the hero a shield against damage resistance. Think of it as a reduction of damage by using a shield. That's pretty much what it gives. It becomes essential actually in Galaxy Wanted because of the lovely Van Helsing and his explosion. Blessings of Prophet can help in that, and at the same time people do recommend Divine Prayer. Pretty much Divine Prayer is equivalent to Van Helsing does his explosion. The HP drops one time very low, and then it recovers the HP automatically on its own. That is how it saves the hero from dying. When the wearer is lower than 30%, 100% of max HP will be recovered immediately. So Divine Prayer is pretty much the key to Van Helsing's explosion killing your entire team. People equip Divine Prayer to Tuku when meeting the lovely Van Helsing. Fatal Judgment also is amazing that each attack increases. The more Tuku attacks, attack after attack, and she uses Pursuit and Follow-up, the attack will increase 8% plus additional 15% of attack increase. So Fatal Judgment is fantastic in terms of high damage output. Now we've looked at the artifacts. We can see they increase the attack, the critical. There's also fictional reality where it increases the restoring effect, HP restoration, and adds HP. This one is fantastic in recovering HP at the end of each round. That's why I equip it to the lovely Thinker, so he can recover HP and last longer in battle. Right? So now we have a lot of information that's enough to make our brains explode, of heroes, their equipment. Let's, before going back to Galaxy Wanted, understand a little bit of Stigmata. Stigmata time. If you go to the filter, you'll see all sets of Stigmata available. Banshee, Domination, Apocalypse, Judgment, Evolution, Annihilation, Samurai, Redemption, Sin, Zealot, Vital, Guardian, Striker, Thorn, Phantom, and Succubus, the new one. Let's go over a couple of them because they pretty much explain themselves by reading the text below them. First, Striker. So what does Striker do actually? Pretty much Striker, when your hero attacks, that's the red flashing point that you could see, that light, it causes more damage as a additional to the enemy. Phantom is special and I have nothing of it, unfortunately. It blocks damage taken. So Phantom is the only Stigmata that for one attack towards one hero, that damage is blocked. I have no idea how many times it can block damage, but it blocks completely taking damage. Like a shield of armor immunity. No damage taken. So Phantom is fantastic. Now Guardian, damage reduction. Damage reduction pretty much means if you're going to take damage by 3 million, it will reduce that number. That's damage reduction. A reduced amount of damage taken for your hero. Right? Redemption, which you really should know and use. It has a percentage of restoring or resurrecting your hero after he has been killed, and it acts exactly the same way like Einstein. Now if you go to Einstein,
what's broader than the universe? He's my mind.
I've equipped it to Einstein, so not only does he have the ability to resurrect 2 of the heroes that have been killed, he also have the chance of resurrecting himself by the Stigmata. So when he's killed in battle, he can also resurrect, but it's a chance percentage. It's not accurate always that he will be resurrected. Aside from that, there is increasing damage, counter-attacking, increasing armor, increasing attack, critical, HP, all the good stuff. Right? Next point you might want to actually know clearly and remember it. Broken armor. Equipment when being evolved, there is the option of broken armor. Now I've talked before about broken armor, just ignore the rest. We're focused on broken armor, damage immunity, right? And critical damage. Those are the 3 that really matter, and damage and broken armor is the top that really matters. Now broken armor is a number that gets broken down and it adds more damage output to your hero. So the more broken armor you have, and you can look at these details, you'll find broken armor. The higher broken armor, the more your hero will cause damage, right? It's not armor and it's not gonna reduce the damage you take from enemies. It will increase the output of the damage you can cause to the enemy. There are people who shared actually how it's calculated, and it's related to your broken armor, your attack, and the other side's critical damage resistance and different factors. Now, back to Galaxy Wanted, and we're coming close to the finishing points of talking about the supreme artifacts and the divine artifacts of how to get them, and we're not gonna go fully into that. My team, even at a higher power than the enemy in this layer, I still can't win. The awakened level is an issue. The awakened, status of not immortal, right, for 2 is an issue. The upgraded equipment is an issue. And the level itself, 363. That's why here we can see a difference. Right. So what should I do? I'm not strong enough and I get killed easily. Aside from upgrading the equipment to T1 and T2, you're gonna have to go to Union Tech and search where exactly is the heroes you're requiring. For instance, we can see here in the radar there is Silos, right? Upgrade it. That's simple. Here we can see Houston. Here we can see Lady Ivy. The reason Lady Ivy is weak, by the way, 0. This is very low in upgrades. Here we can see Thinker, and it has been completely fulfilled and done. So, actually maxing out the Union Tech you need for the heroes you use, here is Einstein. This looks miserable. It's not strong enough. Next is the Union Institute, which is very important in damage reduction and immunity, which is damage reduction again. So we have 2 things: increasing damage and reduction in the damage taken from different heroes of their subfaction. I'll say it again to correct myself. We need more damage to different heroes: the healer, the warrior, the ranger, the meg, and at the same time we need more immunity for it harder to happen to our heroes from silencing and disarm, petrification and charm. Petrification is Medusa, charm is Anna Sakipa, twining is Lady Ivy. The higher the hero you're using has immunity from something, the less likely it's gonna happen in battle. If you used the Lady Ivy before, not every time she attacks, twining happens. That's immunity. Stun is Rockefeller and of course Gonable and Rex. Critical damage resistance is when the enemies attack you with their special attack and there's less of damage received. Critical resistance, not damage resistance, pretty much allows higher output of pretty much being sustained, not attacked, and gaining high damage from the critical and resisting it. For me, critical damage resistance and critical resistance, they just add to each other. There isn't really a difference for me. So we can pretty much see that in each section there's a group of heroes. You're gonna need to upgrade it and work on it. It will allow you to cause more damage. And I'm gonna relate it to something most of you will know and have seen with Andrea, with Queen of Desert. You always have an issue of killing Queen of Desert or Andrea or even Folklore the God Slayer. They're too strong, right? They're too strong. They cause too much damage. So when we look at the Queen of Desert, right, aerial damage, burst damage, and she is main duty aerial damage. She is the faction of Superman, and at the same time I believe she's Meg from the icon. Now going back to the Union, I want to use heroes that are strong against the Queen of Desert. Queen of Desert is Meg, I believe, and I will check on that. I want my heroes to receive less damage, which will give me more time in battle to attack her and take her out. Then I need to work on warrior damage to Meg, and I need to work on the critical damage resistance and critical resistance. They really cannot add separate ones for every sub-faction, so you just need to focus on, okay, I'm going against warrior, I need to increase this. I'm going against the Ranger, a Meg. This specific hero in that lineup causes too much damage for my heroes. Then I need to increase critical resistance, critical damage resistance, and also more damage output towards that faction, sub-faction. And the same applies pretty much. For instance, you also go against Storm Falcon, right? Wipes out your entire team. What is Storm Falcon's
Rise from the ashes.
abilities? Storm Falcon is a ranger, and she's from technology. These are her skills: energy load, blah blah blah, increasing speed, attacking, having a shield that gives her immunity in the first round, etc, etc. So she is from the Ranger subfaction. Let's go and search for the Ranger. Okay, so Iron will be needed if I'm gonna use heroes from here. From my Meg faction, I'll need to upgrade Iron Will, cause more damage to Ranger subfaction, and increase damage resistance and critical damage resistance. And pretty much the game follows the same direction. Now in terms of Union Tech, this will add HP, attack, critical damage, skill damage, critical, armor pierce, which is more damage output, physique, which is HP, and mind, which is increasing attack. So you have two: Raider attack, normal attack, and a percentage of attack. Normal number and a percentage of increasing your attack output. Now we pretty much understand that whenever we're stuck, it is because our heroes aren't strong enough or immune enough from the damage that is done to them. Upgrade the lovely Union Tech for stronger heroes. Union Institute, work on them. At the same time, we cannot forget, of course, StarTech. There are 4 factions in StarTech. You pretty much know them. There's also the receipt functionality now. Now, I talked before about StarTech. Increasing HP, increasing the attack. You need to upgrade them because it adds HP and attack and overall power to every single hero from the faction itself. Also, unlocking the portal or the frame adds abilities to your heroes. If you're looking to power up, you need to work on StarTech, Union Tech pretty much daily if you can. Upgrading this is important. Now, if you're using God heroes and universe heroes, and you always ask yourself, why are they so weak even though I've awakened this hero to Mystic or Legendary Plus? Because you haven't upgraded their StarTech. Simple as that. You've ignored the God Universe faction in StarTech and it hasn't been upgraded. So when you're using Cupid, for instance, you know, that lovely guy who increases attack and recovers HP, he's very weak. He gets killed very easily because I didn't put any effort in upgrading his StarTech 3. Now you have more and more understanding of how the game goes, how to gain more power, what you should focus on daily. And it takes time. It takes time to build up more and more power, level up your heroes, awaken them, all that good stuff. The next point we're gonna talk about is the spaceship. I wasn't gonna add it, but it kinda needs to be added. Understand something. The Dimension Hunter is faster in attacking, stronger than the Black Samurai, and you're gonna have to alternate based on your needs and the fight you are going against. My recommendation, level it up to the max. Black Samurai, level it up to the max. Then move to the ship of Theosos, level it up to the max. And then the Mechanical Queen Wasp, which is used for crowd control. It's not mainly for attacking and heavy damage output, it's for crowd control. Increasing crowd control ability. So our main top ships that we're gonna use for Galaxy Wanted: Black Samurai, Dimension Hunter, and people and players alternate between the first two. Ship of Theosos can be needed sometimes for that lovely increase of HP restoration. When you actually have upgraded it to 150, read it. The battleship checks the health of all allies. Health with less than 50% gain 30% healing effect. And it also can add 20% damage reduction, lasting 2 rounds. Sometimes it is useful to use it. Other times you just need high damage output fast. Now, you pretty much understand more of the lineup, the heroes. This is recapping before we go into the divine artifact, the divine supreme chest direction. These are the majority of heroes you're gonna need, right? Collect them, upgrade them, increase their overall power, work on one by one. At the same time, there are other heroes you might need to use. Second, you can see the recent clearance and what lineup to use, and watch the battle itself. Third, work on individual heroes, one by one, add their stigmata based on your needs. Select the talents appropriate for the battle you're gonna fight. Precise attack if you're going against warriors, rangers, raiders. Master supporters increase. Shadow ambush. Super shield, generation shield at the beginning, 25% of your HP, the hero's HP. Master of tactics when you're pretty much waiting in the waiting round while the enemy is attacking you, you recover and increase your HP, attack and defense. OD to death is one of your team heroes dies. You generate a shield for the weaker allies, one of them, which can be based on the overall power of that hero. For instance, Tuku is 6 million plus. The lowest hero in overall power, he will gain that shield to protect him. Next, the Mystic Talents. Ignore 50% of the target's armor. The armor is what is used actually to reduce the damage for the hero. As you can see, here is the armor. So it just ignores 50% of the enemy's armor, just increasing the overall damage you can do. Vitality armor is when the same enemy attacks you a couple of times, there's a reduction in how much damage you gain from that enemy. Selfless Guardian recovers part of the HP again and again. Titan Killer, Deadly Blow, they rely on your enemy's HP. If it's higher, you increase a little bit in attack. If it's lower, you increase in attack. That's the difference between them actually. Overshield protection, it just takes the damage you cause and it puts it into a shield. Let's ignore what is written. You're never gonna see anything related to it. It will just reduce a little bit of the damage you take when being attacked. Ghost Curse. It will put a mark on the enemy target and it will last for 2 rounds. It just adds more damage to that enemy. So for instance, if Tuku attacks another enemy in the front and he's the number 1, he takes, let's say, 4 million damage in round 1. He's still alive, not killed, right? Additional damage will be cost to him. 15% of those 4 million will be added. So it's just an increase in damage to the enemy. Now concentration reduces your speed by 30% and it increases the resistance rate of being controlled. What is being controlled? Twining, stunning, paralyzing, petrification. That's it. So yeah, the speed is reduced actually by Fearless Persist. In this one, it just increases the resistance rate of being controlled. Still applies what I said. Being controlled is being stunned, being twined, etc, etc. So the resistance rate of those effects are reduced. Fearless Persist. Speed is reduced by 30% and increase in attack and armor by 15%. Take action and defense. Critical cure. Never use it. Doesn't do anything except recover a very small percentage of HP. And Selfless Guardian is 100 times better than it. Now, Death Gaze. At the end of each round, 10% of increase in the hero's attack is added to that hero. The overall limit, which will take almost 5 rounds, is 50% increase. Rush Offense. Rush Offense generates shields. Shield. Oh, sorry. That's not the one. That's Defensive Barrier. Rush Offense, pretty much, after an action is taken, the speed in the next round increases by 20 points. And there is a percentage of being able to attack again. Why do we use it for Tuku? That percentage allows more pursuit and for her to attack more and more. So after she attacks, in the next round, it increases by 20 points, speed, 20 points increase in speed, which Tuku benefits from, and a percentage of her being able to attack again. After it has been initiated, you have to wait for 3 rounds for a second time to trigger it. Soul Devourer, it's the hit rate of controlling. Any hero that has CC controlling effect benefits from Soul Devourer. For instance, Rockefeller has the stun ability. This actually increases the percentage of him stunning your enemy. Next is Violent Strike. Again with a percentage, 50% chance to trigger another attack, equal to 250 of attack, and it can only be triggered once in a round to one enemy. So you attacked, you cause damage. If it's triggered 50%, more damage will be done with another attack, higher in damage. Defensive Barrier, you generate a shield for yourself and every hero in the same lineup. So if you're in the front line, you will generate for the other 2 heroes. Back line, you will generate for the heroes next to you. Now we understand the lovely talent, legendary talent, hero talent, mystic, transcend, and immortal. The final thing we will talk about, which is important, Quantum Invasion in terms of getting the Supreme Chest. In each round of Quantum Invasion, you will go against another union, right? These are the rewards in terms of victory, and it's related to how much damage you cause, in terms of defeat, in terms of a draw. After you win and actually gain the lovely Union Metal, you go to the Union store and you spend it here. You can buy from this one. You're gonna have to use the Union Metal to purchase from the one on the left, and the one on the right is by Blue Diamonds, 2,500. Now, I've actually been saving up a while just to make the video about that specific point. It is difficult to get divine artifacts, and I guess why not just jam this point here in this video also. Here's the point of how you increase the chances of you getting divine artifacts. You will need to get a number of supreme chests. The higher the supreme chests you have, the more the percentage of luck of you gaining rewards, the ultimate reward I'm talking about, is better. Opening 1 supreme chest or 2 at a time, I've done that for over 6 months. Never got 1 supreme artifact ultimate reward, not even once. So you need to actually collect them, wait on them, don't open them directly, and have a couple of them, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20. It takes time to build up that amount, but at least you will get an ultimate reward. What's the percentage of this succeeding? 50-50? 50-50. And the more supreme chests you have, the percentage goes up to 100. Almost every single time. During my attempts of doing this, there has been, once succeeded, once failed, and then once again succeeded the next one. What also helps in opening the Supreme Chest when there is an increase in luck percentage of draws and an event and things are looking a little bit better in the game. Yes, at that time, opening a Supreme Chest is more rewarding of you getting an ultimate reward. Now, do remember that in order to enhance or advance or level up, you will need the Light of Divine. And for evil equipment, Source of Evil. Now, since we're just gonna jam every single thing into one video, one killer video, let's open the 6 Supreme Chests and see what we will get, because you will need the artifacts as you progress in the game, especially the Wings of Angel, the Blessings of Prophet, the Fatal Judgment, the Rings of Oracle, not too much. And let's see what we'll get. Let's open all 6 at one time. Never open one separately. Now I'm hoping to actually get something useful. I hope. As you can see, it's showing 42. And I think, oh, we got Wings of Angel. That's amazing. That is amazing. We got Wings of Angel again during actually recording. Let's go and look at Wings of Angel. I think that pretty much proves to you the concept of getting artifacts. Speed down your enemies. At the beginning of a round, slow down the fastest enemy down by 30 points of speed. This will be very beneficial in going against Storm Falcon because of her speed. So as you can see, as a proof of concept, we opened 6 Supreme Chests. We got 1 artifact, and this has been exactly what I've been doing for a while. First I got the Blessings of the Prophet, then I got Fatal Judgment. No, Fatal Judgment was something unrelated, sorry. First I got the Blessings of the Prophet the same way, and then I got Ring of Oracle, Templar Glory was from an event, Fatal Judgment was also from an event, and Wings of Angel. So pretty much Ring of Oracle, Blessings of Prophet, Wings of Angel have been gotten in the same way that you just saw. So getting divine artifacts is not that impossible. It will just take a long period of time of collecting the chests. Now on the positive side, I wanted to awaken the Blessings of the Prophet to 30. Finally, gain a 350 attack shield that resists the damage received when using a skill. Gain a 300 attack shield that resists the damage received at the beginning of the battle. Increase in attack percentage, HP percentage. Fantastic. Finally, it's been upgraded to the max. Now we're gonna go to the lovely one I've been waiting for a while, Fatal Judgment. I hope it can be upgraded to... it's not gonna go to 10. It needs to be awakened to 10 or upgraded to 10. Every attack increases the hero 5% of attack. So as you can see, this is a proof of concept. There is a weight in getting the divine artifacts. The more Supreme Chests you have, pretty much you will gain something good. It increases the percentage of luck. Remember, collect your Supreme Chests, open them in bulk, gain those divine artifacts. Maybe you'll get lucky and get the Prelude of Evil, something from it, the evil. And don't give up in terms of Galaxy Wanted. It will take time. We all get stuck repetitively. I've got stuck for months and months in different stages, and now even 709 I got stuck, 700 I got stuck, 600 I got stuck, 650 I got stuck, and it's cleared. So there is always a way. You just need to increase your overall power, learn the lineup, the heroes, increase everything, and use divine artifacts if needed. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've finally gotten all the information you need. I hope. Alright, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video and it was informative, do leave a like and a comment and subscribe. I'm pretty much dying now after speaking this long. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments, and have a great day ahead, guys. Have fun playing. See you around.